I'm not a statistician. I
But not
don't
the first
know.
time, though. It's not the first infraction. Remember that. You gotta say that.
Well, as far as the numbers normally go, I believe we covered it on another episode, and I don't want to go too deep. That generally speaking, statisticians make estimates, then when the real numbers come in, they make adjustments. That's from what I understand. Again, not a statistician, how it's worked since math. Welcome to the think tank. We use critical thinking, deductive reasoning, and just a pinch of common sense to draw unbiased logical conclusions. Wow, I'm off this morning. Early morning, I'm here with my partner in crime, my co-host, the Honorable Dion Powell, who's going to introduce himself to you.
Yes, I'm the 78th Assembly District Leader Dion Powell from the Bronx, and I'm wearing this stylish New York Knickerbockers hat because I'm from New York. Someone asked me, "Hey, are you the next man, Dion?" I said, "Nah, I'm just from New York at this point, wearing a nice fashion statement."
All right, so today we're here to discuss geopolitics and foreign policy. Trump's alleged plan to make Palestine the 51st state and how tariffs linked to Palestine statehood. So Donald Trump has said that he's going to put a tariff on states on countries that support Palestine, such as Canada and Italy. He's going to put higher tariffs, 50% tariffs. So his administration, in spite of his well, we're going to check Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu can't do this, and so what? It's like, well, many little children are suffering from malnutrition and the resulting catastrophe of death based on said malnutrition, which is coming by Benjamin Netanyahu, who Trump refers to as Bibi lovingly, is blocking food from humanitarian aid, food, water, from getting to innocent children's parents and children and civilians, which is a war crime. And Trump has said he's going to get tough on Benjamin Netanyahu, like he said he's going to get tough on Russia, and he's going to apply sanctions on Russia. The sanctions on Russia have once again, as some people predicted, been pushed back. The hard talk on Israel is being followed by tariffs being levied on any country that's in talks of supporting the Palestinians. And this is a hot topic for MAGA. This is one of the hot ones. So, as a MAGA, I don't want to say centrist, you're not a centrist. What is it? Would you like to explain your position and
Center
how?
rights, libertarian. Once you know how the political game works, the civics works. That's my internet connection. Okay.
You good, you good. Go ahead.
I'm
You don't
sorry.
hear
I'm
me?
just gonna put on my I was gonna put on my hotspot as a backup Wi-Fi just in case the hotel's Wi-Fi goes down again. Welcome from Ghana. So anyway, yes. So basically, President Trump is doing this posturing because a lot of countries are upset with Israel, and as a result, they are putting certain sanctions and obstacles in the way of where doing business with Israel as well. So President Trump is saying, "Hey, I'm doing something back to you." In addition, certain countries are saying, "You know what? We're actually going to recognize Palestine as a country and state," which is a big statement internationally for the tragedy that's going on over there with this war. Recently, Netanyahu, who's been called BB for decades, by the way, not just Trump. He said that he wants to take over the entire Gaza Strip, as well. So again, like back to Marjorie Taylor Greene, myself and others, this is too much investment in Israel. It's causing too much backlash on our end, more so now that this war is going on. So that's what the president's doing. Excuse me.
So the MAGA, I mean, I don't know where you stand. Sometimes you're, yeah, okay. So you represent the MAGA party. You're America First, I believe,
America
was what I was
first,
looking
the
for.
America first section, not the pro, some will argue Zionist section. Because you gotta remember the word Zionism, like Palestine and some
Up,
others,
up, up,
aren't
up.
really thrown
Let's
around.
slap up. Whoa, that sounds like a lot. Sounds like you're defining a word. Let's
Zionism.
I'm not an expert. Have I studied it a little bit? Do I know what it is? There's a
Let's
lot to Zionism, and we're
let's
not
ask
experts.
AI.
Maybe you're an expert, but I don't have any credentials to claim expertise in.
I'm an opinionist like you, but not opinionated. Ooh.
Ah. So what we're going to do is we're going to say I'm going to share screen and we're going to define Zionism really quickly. Okay. So Zionism is a movement for originally the reestablishment and now development and protection of a Jewish nation in what is now Israel. It was established as a political organization in 1897 under Theodore Herzl and was later led by Chaim Weizmann. I say I did not know this. So, yeah, I just learned something. Since 1897, which is wild because Israel wasn't established till 1947.
Well,
So
that's
this was
what
a
built the movement. This ideology, Zionism, is what built the movement to create the state of Israel. Understand? So that's what's not really talked about, the ideology. Just like terrorism, extremism, and jihad and all those wonderful things, it's an ideology you can't really destroy. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people believe in it. And one thing I recently saw from some other YouTubers is that the big problem here are the Christian Zionists, meaning that people who are Christian that believe that Israel is some kind of biblically tied to the grand scheme of things of God. Understand? So they're like 34% of the country, the Christian evangelicals and Zionists that have the Israeli flag in their churches. I've been to some. So Marjorie Taylor Greene comes out of this camp of evangelicals, but she's realizing that this whole Israel situation is putting America second, and we're investing too much time, effort, and money in this situation.
so okay. So he's attacking countries that are
Tariffing.
that are supporting Palestine with tariffs. 11 out of 13 Canadian provinces, which I guess is like a state in America. Again, I'm not an expert. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. But from my understanding and common sense, a province is kind of like a state. So their constitution works similar, I would guess, where, states have their own rights and there's a larger federal government, which we call Canada. So 11 out of the 13 states, that would be like, you know, 40 out of the 50 states in America have banned US goods. How do you feel about that? We talking about we're going to put tariffs on them, and they're like, we're not going to buy
Well,
from you.
again, this goes to show who our true friends, frenemies, and enemies alike are. So Canada is being tough. Who, Canada? Really? We thought somebody else would be talking tough, like freaking North Korea or somebody over there that's bold. But Canada, our neighbor to the north, that's so timid. Wow, they really starting to show themselves. Just like a lot of people show themselves with these tariffs, where Trump was just originally concept was reciprocal tariffs, saying, "Hey, we buy from you guys all the time. Ever since World War II, we started investing in all these countries and buying, buying, buying. Now we've had enough. Our economy's not good. We want you to buy some of our products, put our people to work instead of sending jobs overseas to your countries. How about that? But of course, Donald
Well,
Trump, the racist evil man, we can't capitulate. So Canada has to act real tough. But remember, FOFA, no, FAFO. Yes, FAFO, just like the UK and England did just recently with these tariff deals. So there's actually a tariff map that you might want to check out, Leo.
well, Donald Trump has spewed all this nonsense. And again, I'm not an economist. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. But based on my extensive research, even though I'm not an expert, Canada is by and large our largest trading partner. And what that would mean in English is they buy more from us than anybody else does. Like, I believe their prime minister was quoting numbers that basically said if you combine EU and China and Russia, and if you combined our next five largest trading partners, the people that we do trade with together, Canada would still buy more goods than all of them combined, the next five. So levying tariffs on them as a reciprocal tariff when they didn't have 50% tariffs on us in the first place, and then saying that, well, it's because fentanyl's coming across the borders. And then, okay, they said, you know what, we're going to work on the fentanyl thing. And now you're saying, well, we're going to dictate your country's policies. You're not allowed to support Palestine because that's against Israel, and that's not going to stand. We are going to tariff you for supporting the Palestine state, which, they were there 60 years ago while Israel was not. So basically, this is their land. Their statehood should never have been in question in the first place, some might argue. So this reciprocal tariff is actually a punishment on Canada because they said, yo, we're not putting up with your BS. Israel, we're going to support the other team. Like, yo, y'all are doing too much. Y'all are literally doing things to cause little children to suffer and expire. Like, what is wrong with you? How do you starve children to death and go to sleep at night? So the United States and the president of the United States levying tariffs against another country to try and control their political stance in a situation that goes against what the UN has called war crimes. Again, I'm not an expert. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I do, however, listen to the news, and the UN has called these war crimes. They said that you're not allowed to attack civilians. You're not allowed to attack children. That is a war crime. They issued an arrest warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu based on said war crimes. So, with all of that said, how does an America First MAGA individual support that? How do you support a country being told what to do in their own, what laws they can pass and who they can support? How do you, America First, support that?
We don't. That's why Marjorie Taylor Greene is being so vocal about it. And again, people are burning MAGA hats. So again, the base is like Epstein. So far, the media thinks it's the most important thing to hurt Trump. Okay. But also Israel and Gaza. So that's what's going on with that for the American First folks. Meaning when it comes to Israel. Now, Epstein is across the board, but when it comes to American First for folks, then this whole Israel Gaza situation and Ukraine as well, putting a lot of money into these things and weaponry and stuff like that. So, yeah. But isn't it great, like you said, it's bipartisan now that you have people on the right and left, and Marjorie Taylor Greene getting froggy enough to propose a bill to actually stop offensive weapons from us, sitting there, etc. It's a step in the right direction, I think.
Bipartisanship is definitely a good thing. I'm happy to see it. So Trump wants to skip the meeting with Putin and Zelensky, and we already mentioned that he's not putting sanctions on Russia. He said we're going to put them on in 2 weeks. I'm going to put them on in 4 weeks. We're going to put them on in 6 weeks. And these tariffs and these sanctions have never occurred. Although he's now moving nuclear submarines and posturing against Russia. Do you think that's a show, or do you think that that's actually a serious escalation?
I said it quickly, like poker, snap call, show. Because America has to save face in some regards. Understand?
Absolutely. By the way, if you're enjoying the content, please like, share, subscribe, get your voices out there, become part of the community. Let's join, let's spread, let's have these across the table conversations that we're having right now. And apparently these conversations are leading somewhere, because when at first we couldn't agree on anything, we're starting to agree on a lot of things. So these conversations are important. We need to keep having them.